Congressman Louie Gohmert feels as though that Texas needs to act unilaterally to end the humanitarian crisis at the border. Yes, indeed, it is true. During a floor speech last week, Representative Louie Gohmert compared the surge of unaccompanied migrant children to soldiers invading France during World War II, criticizing Obama's request for Congress to provide $3.7 billion in emergency funding to process the deportation of the 52,000 children that are mostly fleeing violence in Central American countries. Gohmert asked for Governor Rick Perry to use whatever means necessary, like troops, ships of war, or taxes to stop the invasion. Now let's break that down for just a second. Louie Gohmert is not the smartest tool in the shed. No, he's the dumbest tool in the shed. He's not the sharpest tool. He's the dullest tool. He's pretty much an idiot. But I digress. Louie says, like troops, ships of war, taxes. So let's work backwards. Louie doesn't want to raise taxes. He doesn't believe in raising any taxes. I think if Louie was to run the country, we'd have no taxes. So the fact that he wants Rick Perry to use tax dollars is a walking contradiction. All right, just put that in your kitty for a second. Ships of war. You know, if I'm right, I think I am. The federal government's the one with the Navy, and the federal government's also the one with the Coast Guard. I didn't know the state of Texas had ships of war. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe indeed I'm wrong, America, but there's no state in the Union that has ships of war. Like, nobody has like Texas doesn't have its own aircraft carrier that just pulls up and, out of the Bay of Houston and be like, oh, we're gonna go, take on Cuba today, right? And troops. So yes, the state does have a National Guard, right? Texas Air National Guard. So they do have that. But either way, we can fix this. We can fix this. We would not have a crisis on the border if we've passed immigration reform. And we fixed it. These people are crying over a crisis that they inflicted upon themselves by not acting fast enough, by not moving quick enough, by not passing immigration reform. Which brings us to my first problem. If conservatives want to fix this quote-unquote crisis at the border, let's pass immigration reform, maybe as amended. Maybe we need more border security. That's fine. Let's debate it. Let's have that debate. Let's have the debate. But let's not sit on our hands and be like, oh, look at the humanitarian crisis that's coming against our people. Look at all the children coming in. We've got to stop them. Let's have a debate. Let's have a debate. And let's not use loaded language because the current bill on the Senate floor is not instant amnesty. Right? Let's not use any of that. Let's have a debate about the issues. Let's talk about immigration reform. Where are those quote-unquote Reagan Republicans? That's what I want to know. Where are the Reagan Republicans that voted for immigration reform in 1986? Clearly, they're all missing. Hello? Hello? Are they there or are they not, America? That's a question I want to know. Where are these people? Where are the George H.W. Bush Republicans who are willing to come to the table? And let's make a deal. These fools that we have in the United States Congress, like Louie Gohmert, they're just idiots. They're pandering, walking buffoons and idiots. And they're holding our country. They're keeping our country behind. They want us to stay behind. They're the weights that anchor our feet. They're the weights that bind us, the snares of the enemy.